Guys, I wanted to do something a little different and talk about having hope. Talk about being thankful. We just came out of Thanksgiving, and it really made me stop and think, because if you watch the news, if you are looking at social media, a lot of times it's just doom and gloom everywhere, and 2020 has been just an epic year. But one thing that it has done is it's brought out how vulnerable we are and how important it is to be prepared. And that if you're prepared, you can ride out these storms a lot easier. If we're not careful, we have fear, we have panic, and typically those things are because we just don't have the hope or we're worried about the future. But guys, if you put together a plan and you have things set aside, it gives you hope. It gives you more confidence to face what's coming up. One of the things that I try to do is help prepare people to be prepared. We go through life typically without any kind of emergency. I mean, emergencies are things that come up in our lives all of a sudden, and typically they're out of the norm. And we need to really concentrate on that side of it. But if we're not careful, we get lulled into just complacency, and we don't have the tools we need to survive. One of the big things for me is, I have a get home bag in my vehicle. And if I ever have any problems, instead of panicking, instead of worrying and thinking, what am I going to do? I have some supplies there, and it does give me hope. I have a GPS, I have maps, I'm stuck in my vehicle. If it's the middle of winter and I'm stuck on the side of the road and I'm not getting good cell service, I have an emergency space blanket. I have things to allow me to survive. And so that's what gives me just a little more confidence. One of the things my wife said to me a while back was, she said, you really have a lot of depressing things that you talk about, whether it's on the Sootch channel, with self-defense, and we're talking about guns, and of having situational awareness, knowing what's going on around you. Then you go over to the prepper side, and it's always, you need to be prepared for this. This is coming up. This is happening. And I told her, I said, honestly, it's the opposite. To me, I'm encouraging people to take self-defense as their responsibility because things just happen. We don't really plan for it, we don't know it, but when you're prepared to face that situation, then you have more confidence when it comes to survival and prepping. Every time you go to the store and you pick up a few extra cans of beans and rice, that just puts you that much more ahead in case something does happen. If you have extra toilet paper, the old supplies, if you know how your water source, where to get my water, how to have battery backups, how to have those things that, because life does throw wrenches into our plans. Murphy's Law is always there. But what are we going to do to be prepared? It's what we do ahead of time to be prepared to face those situations that give us the confidence, the knowledge. One thing that I've done over the years is this 25 uses for the paperclip or, water bottles or whatever. And really, I'm trying to help people to understand that don't always think linear. Think outside the box sometimes. Think about things that you can do to improvise. One thing that I've always said is you've got to improvise to survive. And, sometimes you have to really be able to think things through. Having confidence gives you the ability to think things through. When you're panicking, when you're worried, you make rash decisions. You worry. Being prepared gives us, again, confidence. And I think that's really the biggest thing here, is that we have confidence in our future. Doesn't matter how bleak things are. Guys, through time, mankind has always dealt with chaos. There's always been things that have come up. But those that were prepared mentally first and then physically got through the storm. And they were able to help and lead people through the storm. So one of the big things, guys, is when you're getting prepared, you're building your confidence. You're giving yourself tools that you can carry your family, friends, and the people around you through it. So it's very important to just relax, take a deep breath, and as we get ready to face 2021, is to have confidence that I am prepared. Yes, things are going to happen. Problems are going to come. Chaos could possibly happen. But the more that I am level, the more that I have confidence, the better I'm going to be able to step out into that and be able to handle situations. So make sure, guys, that you put together your essentials, the rule of threes. Make sure that you have, your water taken care of. Make sure that you have a way to keep your body warm, heat source. Make sure that you have food put back and essentials, cleaning supplies, toilet paper, all that stuff. It's important. Make sure that you have a way to defend yourself. A lot of people watch this channel are from countries that don't allow for self-defense in any way, whether it's a firearm or even a knife or a club. Having ways, going and getting martial arts training, or getting yourself in really good shape physically. Having a good flashlight to be able to keep in your pocket. If you really needed to, you could get somebody off of you at least. Doing things proactively. Having situational awareness, keeping track of what's going on around you. Don't get sucked in to cell phones. Don't get sucked into the mental energy and just start wandering off into other directions. When you're out in public, think about what's going on around you. Think about possible storms or, whatever natural environment emergency that could happen in your area. We all have them. They're just different. But all the basics are still the same. And so having those things put aside ahead of time. Guys, we don't live with a spirit of fear, but a spirit of a sound mind and of love. And that means we need to help others. I think if you feel down, if you feel depressed, if you feel like the world's caving in, start helping others. Reach out to others. Do for others. Acts of kindness. Acts of support. Give of your resources. And that'll bring you around to where you have a clear mind to be able to do things. Mindset is extremely vital. In fact, it is the most important thing that we can have. A good, solid mindset. From there, again, we can make rational decisions. We can do things that are prudent and that are right. And we may find ourselves well equipped to deal with whatever we face. So guys, as 2021 approaches, think about the good things that you have. Think about your assets. Think about the things that you're grateful for, your family, your friends. You live in a house or apartment, or you have shelter. You have some food put back. You have things. And then you can face the day a lot better. If you're not prepared, then get prepared. Because again, every time you go to the store and just pick up a few extra supplies, puts you that much ahead of where you were before. So guys, on a side note, if you're on a budget, you're looking for supplies, because prepping can be expensive, being prepared, but you want good quality stuff, check out the Sportsman's Guide. That's one place that I buy a lot of stuff, especially military surplus. And they have military surplus from all over the world. We've done a lot of different reviews. In fact, I've got a review coming up of some of their NATO gas cans, 5-gallon gas cans. It was a great price, and I was able to pick them up. And so you get on there, you can find all kind of stuff. Now, the great thing is you get $20 off every $100 or more purchase using Sootch. It's a great way to be able to pick up really cool surplus stuff for a very reasonable price. And I really appreciate Sportsman's Guide for doing that. But also, again, I've used that $20 off a number of times personally. So just thought I'd throw that out there to you guys. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. So be strong. So on a side note, guys, if you're really strapped in, so guys, on a side note, if you're really just purchased some, I don't want to go into all that.